This week, millions of young voters will cast their ballots in a presidential election for the very first time.
Including a brother and sister who KCCI's Eric Hansen has known since they were preschoolers. Eric, you've been following their debates for how many elections now?
This is actually the 5th presidential election cycle since we first met York and Tess arguing over Cheetos and yogurt. And after 16 years, this is finally the week they've been waiting for. In the corner of her 4th floor dorm, Tess Megison feels prepared.
This is for my Women and Gender Studies class.
The Drake University freshman has a quiz in an hour, but the bigger multiple choice milestone is coming Tuesday.
I'm just excited. I feel like I've been ready for this for a really long time.
That Uncle Sam hat hanging from her loft is a clue. She knows this is a big one.
This is, the first election that I'm eligible to vote in, and I'm really excited.
Just like it is across town for her big brother.
Well, this is an interesting election, so it'll be fun.
York Megison is a sophomore at Notre Dame, on his way to vote early over his fall break. A double milestone for these siblings who know this week is
16 years in the making.
Because back in 2008,
there's bad things on Wall Street.
Their parents caught those same 2 kids fighting at the kitchen table, grabbed the camcorder, and hit record.
Okay. Actually, you were wrong. I was right. No, I wasn't.
York was 4 years old, and Tess was only 2.
I said that John McCain was the best, but Tess said that Barack is, but that's actually wrong.
They knew peanut butter went with jelly.
Another candidate for Barack Obama is Joe Biden.
And they proved ads between their cartoons really sank in.
Hanging by a thread. It's not the change we need.
But that was 2008.
Well, I would vote for John McCain.
4 years later, just after the Tooth Fairy visited,
This one fell on the 3rd day of school.
they were getting used to 1st and 2nd grades
I'm up to at least chapter book with no pictures.
when those ads came back.
They keep on getting in my brain like, which one's right, which one's wrong. Yeah.
York and Tess had stopped fighting about politics
Well, most of our arguments are who gets to use the whoopee cushion.
and started to understand what an election really was. Tess's pick?
Romney because, well, Obama's had a chance to be president, and I think everyone should have a chance to be president if they want to.
But they could also tell
They're not being respectful, and they might not being trustworthy because they might be lying.
They're probably not being trustworthy.
which became even more obvious in 2016.
These guys are acting like middle schoolers.
The 6th grader who now loved basketball and his little sister who loved reading both had a hard time believing what they were hearing.
You're just like, wait, what? Can one of you just tell me the actual truth?
And they started to understand character could be a factor.
Mr. Trump might be doing things that might get him called in the principal's office.
So by the time the coronavirus turned their high school virtual,
we looked at the Electoral College map one day,
and York's voice had dropped, he threw us a curveball in 2020 when he told us,
I would be very surprised if within the next 2 decades I hadn't run for some sort of office.
And he already had an endorsement.
And in the nicest way possible, he's very argumentative and stubborn, so I think he would be able to get his way, because he sure can.
Guilty as charged.
Facebook had landed on their phones, and they were understanding the power in those mid-pandemic posts.
With all social media, I think people's opinions are a lot stronger and are a lot more attacking towards people who have different opinions.
But they couldn't wait to actually get their hands on a ballot and vote. Last Friday, at 9:21 a.m.,
here's your ballot. It's 2 sides, front and back.
York found a booth, sat down, and became a voter.
But this is where you get to decide. You know, you might not love the options that you're laid out with, but you still get to make the best choice you possibly can.
Across town, his little sister has hosted Get Out the Vote rallies on campus.
It's pretty easy. You just look up their name and their address and help them figure it out.
And wants to experience a polling place on Election Day.
I have class at 11, so I'm going to go to the polls right when they open and then go to class, but I'm just excited.
But this is probably the most impactful multiple choice exam you'll have. You just decide.
And then drop it in the box. And grab the sticker he's wanted since preschool.
He said no to Wall Street, because Wall Street made a mess.
And now, for all of that to culminate in actually voting is pretty special.
We were seeing the impact of it without having a voice. And so now to be 18, to be able to vote, and to be able to finally have a voice, like, it's just so cool that we've been able to watch this whole journey.
And it kind of ends tomorrow since York goes to school at Notre Dame and Tess goes to Drake. They don't talk politics nearly as much as they did when they were at the same preschool. In fact, they haven't even told each other who they are voting for in this election. But when they head home to Grimes for Thanksgiving break, it just might come up.
Probably so. And we have loved this series, Eric, remembering the very first one and the progression of their arguments since then.
It's been a while.
How did it come to pass that you found York and Tess?
Well, I've actually known York and Tess's mom and dad for a long time. So when they first caught that very first home video, they gave me a call and thought it was kind of a perfect example of how those ads impact everyone, whether it's commercials or cartoons or newscasts or anything like that. So we kept catching them up with them through the whoopee cushion days, through the COVID days. And while a lot of Iowans are really excited to vote tomorrow and vote this week, it's kind of just felt like an extra long countdown for them since they've been talking about it since they were 2 and 4 with yogurt and peanut butter and jelly. So it's an exciting thing.
You know, I think we all remember maybe when that thought about voting first crossed our mind.
Yeah.
Not when 2 and 4 though, like as you said.
It's been a long time for them. They're excited.
Great stuff, Eric. Thank you so much.